Are you ready to pack your bags for Raleigh or Charlotte, North Carolina to move in 2025? Before you pack those bags, I want you to stick around and watch this whole video because I might have found another city that might save you tens of thousands of dollars in 1 year of living cost. It might be a better option for you than Raleigh or Charlotte. Below, you'll be able to see all of my information to contact me. You can call, text, or email. I'd love to be your resource, but stick around and watch the whole video. Maybe, Greensboro, North Carolina might be the best city for you. Let's explore the differences between the cities just so you can kind of get to know the cities. Greensboro is a mid-sized city. It is centrally located in the state. It's edging up in price of affordability, but it's got a city feel, but it's a smaller city. It's a mid-sized city. Where Charlotte is one of the biggest cities in North Carolina. It's very bank job oriented. And then we've got Raleigh, which is closer and more eastern in North Carolina. And it's literally called the Triangle Research Area because it's got a lot of research jobs. It also has some aviation, but it has a lot of tech startup companies. So that's just a little bit different. Raleigh is really spread out as a city. Greensboro is more spread out as a city as well, but it's got a little bit of a sprawl to it, where Charlotte, it is spread out, but the actual city center, it is tighter commuted, just size-wise compared to Raleigh, just the feel of it. So that's just a little bit difference about each of the cities. You got Charlotte, which is the biggest. We've got Raleigh second, and then we've also got Greensboro, which is a mid-size, so it is a smaller city between all those three cities. Let's talk about the biggest expense most of us face. Between these three cities, Greensboro, the median average is $295. We're in Charlotte, we're looking at $400 to $410 is the median, and Raleigh is about $430 to $450. So that's a difference of $100,000 to $150,000. What could you do with $100,000 and $150,000? You could have a larger space. You could have more land. You could upgrade just your whole living lifestyle in general, hobbies, travel, just by choosing a mid-sized city and not choosing one of the bigger metro cities in North Carolina. So it's definitely something to look at and review and research before choosing which city you move to. Let's talk about everyday costs. Groceries, cost of utilities, childcare, just overall. Greensboro, you are looking at, I've spoken about Greensboro before in other videos, the index cost versus the rest of the country. Greensboro hits 87 on the cost of living index affordability, whereas Raleigh and Charlotte are both almost hit 100. So they're at 97 and 96. So that will say that overall, cost of groceries is going to be slightly less expensive than if you were living in Charlotte or Raleigh. Cost of gas is going to be lower. Cost of childcare is a little bit lower in Greensboro. Utilities are going to be slightly lower in Greensboro rather than Charlotte or Raleigh. All the way around it, your taxes, your home insurance, all of those different costs are going to just be slightly less expensive in Greensboro versus Raleigh or Charlotte. So that's definitely something to think about. What could you do with all that extra money? You could save it, or just pick up a new hobby or travel more. So definitely certain things to think about when you're deciding on which city to move to. Another topic to think about when you're deciding on which city to move in is traffic. Not only is it annoying, it's actually expensive. With living in Greensboro, which it's, again, a mid-sized city, so we've got great roads, good amount of people in the city, but the traffic, we just don't see the amount of traffic. There's not as many toll roads, whereas Charlotte and Raleigh, it's heavily populated. There's tons of toll roads. Just overall, the commutes are longer and that's costly. It'll cost you more in your day. If you think about if you lived in Raleigh, you can kind of get anywhere in 20 or 30 minutes. Whereas if you lived in Greensboro, you could get anywhere between about 20 or 30 minutes. Whereas if you lived in Raleigh or Charlotte, just with the amount of traffic, it could take you an hour and a half. That is a lot of time taken away from your day and or family or different hobbies or activities that you enjoy. So definitely something to think about when you're looking at which city to live in is the amount of traffic, as well as that's going to cost you more gas-wise the longer you sit in traffic each day. Okay, next topic. Yes, Charlotte and Raleigh have more corporate jobs, so you're going to make a little higher wages, but do you keep those wages? Whereas in Greensboro, maybe what you're making is slightly less, but you get to keep it. You get to keep the money because your cost of living is less expensive than it is in Charlotte or Raleigh. So the higher wages don't really equate to a higher standard of living because it does cost you more to live there. So that's definitely something to think about is, yes, maybe the corporate jobs will bring more money, but will they bring a higher quality of lifestyle? Not necessarily, but definitely something that you need to research and figure out which city works best for you. Okay, quality of life. Let's set aside everything else. Which city works best for you? Greensboro, again, it's a slower paced city. It is a mid-sized city, so you still get the city feel, but overall it's a little bit more quaint. It's more tight-knit, whereas Charlotte and Raleigh, these are large sprawling cities, which are going to offer you bigger city amenities and feel to them, but that just goes back to what is going to best fit your lifestyle and your quality of lifestyle that you're looking for. So definitely something to research is quality of lifestyle. Which one works best for you? Maybe it is Greensboro, which is a little bit slower paced, like I said, but something definitely for you to research. Ask me questions, see if I can answer or help you decide which one might work best for you in your lifestyle. Which city is the best bang for your buck? Again, in Greensboro, you're looking at the median house price, which is about $295 versus Charlotte or Raleigh, which is going to be anywhere from $400 to $430. So right there, you're saving $100,000, $150,000 just on a home purchase. Commuting, driving to your job. In Greensboro, like I've mentioned before, you can get pretty much anywhere in 20, 30 minutes with very little traffic or not much traffic at all. But in Charlotte or Raleigh, the average commute without traffic is about 30 minutes. With traffic could be anywhere between 45 minutes or an hour plus, just depends. Average rent cost in Greensboro is about $1,200 a month if you're deciding to rent, versus you're looking at Charlotte or Raleigh is about $1,700, $1,800 plus dollars if you're just renting. These are definitely things to think about versus the whole cost of living index between the cities. Again, you're looking at Greensboro it's on the index at 87 versus Raleigh or Charlotte is at 96 and 97. So overall, groceries, healthcare, taxes, etc. are going to be just a little bit more expensive in Raleigh and Charlotte. And what could you do with all that money and time? Probably enjoy lifestyle. So you kind of got to figure out which city works best for your lifestyle and what you want to accomplish in life. Definitely think about those ideas. So are you leaning towards Greensboro? Yeah, I think the numbers speak for themselves. And if you're comparing cities and have questions, do not hesitate to reach out and let me be your resource. So I can help you answer your questions and help you set up a timeline or set up goals to maybe make Greensboro your next place that you call home. You can call, text, or reach me by email. All my information will be below in the description, but do not forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos on Greensboro, North Carolina, Winston-Salem, and living in the Triad in general.